Years ago, they were the undisputed kings of the technology world. They used to control over 40% of the entire global mobile market. You probably owned one of their indestructible phones. But after they sold their mobile division in 2014, they didn't disappear. They mutated. They evolved into something much bigger and much more invisible. Today, Nokia is a global telecommunications titan. They build the 5G networks that route your personal text messages. They manufacture the massive, silent infrastructure that keeps the modern internet alive. They operate in the shadows, moving exabytes of human data every single day. Let me put this into absolute perspective. Nokia does not just make antennas. They provide the secure backbone for critical government communications. They build the exact infrastructure that international banks use to transfer billions of dollars every single second. They are the silent walls of the global digital fortress. We surrender our data to them completely. We assume that a company managing global 5G networks has military-grade internal security. We assume there are teams of specialized auditors and artificial intelligence reviewing every single financial transfer. You trust companies like this because they are massive. You assume that a multi-billion-dollar multinational corporation has impenetrable security. You assume they have advanced algorithms, aggressive audits, and artificial intelligence watching every single transaction, every single day. Today, we are going to expose one of the most humiliating corporate blind spots in modern history. We are going to look at how a single employee inside Nokia's regional office in Chile completely bypassed every single corporate safeguard and quietly siphoned millions over the course of years. No advanced hacking, no complex malware, no encrypted dark web software, just a devastating exploitation of human trust and broken internal systems. If you think your data is safe just because a tech giant has a famous logo, you need to pay very close attention to this, because the absolute greatest threat to any secure system is the exact person who is hired to protect it. To completely break a system, you do not need to be a hacker. You do not need to write a single line of malicious code. You just need time. Meet Raul Valdebenito Ortiz. He was not a phantom on the dark web. He was an accountant, and he sat quietly inside Nokia for over 15 years. 15 years is an absolute eternity in the corporate world. It is enough time to memorize every single security protocol. It is enough time to know exactly which accounts the financial auditors check with a magnifying glass, and which accounts they completely ignore. Raul was in charge of the accounts payable system. He knew the exact, precise life cycle of a payment, from the moment a request was generated to the moment the physical cash left Nokia's bank account. He managed the documents. He managed the approvals. He was the ultimate gatekeeper. And according to a devastating criminal lawsuit filed by Nokia, the gatekeeper decided to open the vault. When Nokia finally investigated what was happening inside their own walls, they discovered that nothing was improvised. It was not a sudden crime of passion. It was a calculated, four-stage protocol that ran silently for years. It was a perfectly engineered parasite living inside a multinational corporation, and it started with brilliant, untraceable digital forgery. Raul did not try to forge executive signatures by hand. That is a desperate, amateur move. Instead, he weaponized his access. He took legitimate, original documents that had already been signed by Nokia's top, authorized executives. He digitally cut out their high-resolution signatures and pasted them directly onto completely fake bank instruction letters. When the Bank of Chile reviewed the massive transfers, they checked the signatures against their high-tech database, and the system flashed green every single time. Why? Because the bank's security software is designed to catch fake signatures. It is completely blind to a real signature, pasted on a fraudulent document. Think about how terrifying that actually is. The Bank of Chile invested millions of dollars into high-tech fraud detection software. They built complex algorithms designed to detect the absolute slightest tremor in a pen stroke. But Raul completely bypassed all of that artificial intelligence. With a simple copy and paste, he weaponized the bank's own trust in Nokia's executives. The banking system looked at the signature, recognized the top manager, and immediately stopped asking questions. It is the ultimate social engineering hack, executed entirely through paperwork. And because he kept the individual transfer amounts just below the massive corporate alert thresholds, the money just kept flowing, week after week, month after month. Once the bank approved the forged documents, the money flowed out like a river. According to the lawsuit, the primary target was a man named Pedro Ura Gonzalez. 30 separate payments were sent to Pedro and his company, totaling over 1,032 million Chilean pesos. That is almost $1 million sent to a single phantom vendor. But Raul didn't stop there. He spread the money around to avoid triggering alarms. 5 payments totaling $300,000 went to Pedro's sister and partner. Another 19 payments, totaling almost another $1 million, went to 12 different individuals. None of these people had any commercial ties to Nokia. To stop the internal corporate alarms from ringing, Raul disguised these massive cash transfers with incredibly boring labels: lawyer lawsuits, severance pay, union fees, He hid them in a transit account, a corporate junk drawer designed specifically for pending items that nobody wanted to look at immediately. He parked the money in a blind spot. And finally, Phase 4, the silence. For years, this critical account was never reconciled, never checked, never verified, because Raul was the only one managing it. He was the criminal and the security guard at the exact same time. The perfect crime never collapses because of a genius detective. It collapses because of a tiny glitch in the daily routine. In February 2025, Raul Valdebenito Ortiz was fired from Nokia. Months later, on October 23, 2025, a brand new accountant sat down at Raul's old desk. He logged into the system and found 3 pending transfers that made absolutely no sense. When this new accountant looked deeper into the transit account, he didn't just find a few mistakes. He found 30,022 unreviewed transactions. Let me repeat that slowly. 30,022. In a healthy, functioning corporate account, that number should be 0 at the end of the month. At Nokia, it was a mountain of digital rot that had been accumulating since at least 2020. It was a monument to total corporate negligence. The new accountant looked at the fake invoices and asked a very simple question to the legal team. Who is Pedro Ura? The legal team didn't know. Human resources didn't know. The vendor database had absolutely no record of him. Finally, another accountant connected the dots. Pedro Ura was Raul's romantic partner. The illusion shattered. Nokia panicked. They initiated a massive forensic audit, checking every single email, bank statement, and digital footprint Raul had left behind. The telecom giant was forced to drag themselves to the 8th Guarantee Court of Santiago, publicly admitting that their internal security was a complete and utter joke. Raul Valdebenito Ortiz is now facing severe charges for disloyal administration, private instrument forgery, and computer fraud. But Nokia's humiliation is your personal warning. Every single day, we blindly trust massive corporations to protect our data, our privacy, and our money. We assume that because they build the 5G networks and operate on a global scale, they know exactly what they are doing. But a system is only as secure as the human beings running it. For years, a multinational company failed to notice millions of dollars disappearing from their own pockets, simply because nobody bothered to check the math. If Nokia cannot even protect their own bank accounts from a single rogue employee, how can you trust them, or any big tech company, to protect your personal information? Welcome to the Ghost Protocol. Step 1. Never trust the brand name. It does not matter if the logo is Google, Microsoft, or Nokia. Underneath the billion-dollar marketing budgets, these companies are run by stressed, overworked human beings who leave massive vulnerabilities wide open. Step 2. Implement zero trust in your own digital life. Do not assume any platform is secure just because it requires a password. Compartmentalize your life. Use strictly different email addresses for your banking and your social media. If a corporate database is breached from the inside, your entire identity should not be compromised. Step 3. Monitor your own ledger. No one is coming to save you. Set up aggressive, real-time alerts on your bank accounts. Check your active logins weekly. The absolute greatest threat isn't always a masked hacker in a basement. Sometimes, it is just a guy in a suit who knows exactly where you stopped paying attention. Take your security back. Stay paranoid. Stay vigilant.